Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the Wrap, mainstream media saying that they are doubtful that Avatar is going to match the original's box office record. Now, that's not to say the movie's not going to make a ton of money.
No, and that's not to say it won't.
Yeah, it may not, but they said that it's going to be very hard to do because we are living in a different time. For this movie to make the 2.9 billion that the original made, people would have to go back again and again and again.
And again, how many times is it re-released and to get to that total?
Right.
Every time it was dropping to number 2 or whatever, they re-released it. I know, right? They'd re-release it again to try to get more money. So there's just, it's very unlikely it's going to hit that amount for the first run.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, this is a movie I am not going to even predict what it's going to do because I honestly have no idea.
You're going to say it's a movie I'm not going to go see because you aren't?
I'm not. I'll wait for streaming.
I won't even watch it when it's on streaming.
But, this is a movie that supposedly needs to make $2 billion just to break even. Very expensive movie. And, of course, going by the original's box office, people will be like, oh, yeah, it's going to make that. But again, are people as interested in Avatar as they were the first time it came out? Because it was something new, something novel. It's been a long time, and it never really had the audience that like a Star Wars or a Marvel or whatever has. People went to go see it originally, not because it was a good movie necessarily, but because the special effects were groundbreaking. It was in 3D,
And basically, we're going to look at the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, but a lot of them are kind of like, yeah, it's pretty, but the story is, yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Almost 283,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell for notifications.
Hopefully it'll show up on the main page.
Hopefully it'll show up. Yes, we have some issues with YouTube these past couple of days, and I've already reached out to my contact at YouTube, and we're going to see what's going on. But yeah, new videos apparently are not showing up right away on the homepage. They will show up in your feed if you subscribe, but they won't show up on the homepage. And I thought, well, maybe this is a YouTube-wide problem, but our other channels don't have that problem.
Yeah,
so we're gonna see what's going on. Anyway, this is coming from the Wrap. Avatar 2 probably won't match the original's box office record, but there's a way of water. In 2009, Cameron made a movie with a ridiculous theatrical run.
This one's pretty long too.
And he's going to try to make, yeah, it is long that way too. He's going to try to make Lightning Strike twice. But they're talking...
And a third time, and a fourth time.
And a fifth time.
And a fifth time, and possibly sixth and seventh time.
They said that with a long runway through the holiday season, it's in a prime position to accumulate a global total of at least $1.5 billion and surpass Maverick as the year's highest grossing film. But yeah, we'll see. I thought Maverick was like 1.7. No, I don't know.
I don't know either.
There's no way it can match the 2.9 billion that the first Avatar made from its initial release in 2009, right? I don't think it's going to. Now, they're saying that it's supposed to open to what? $500 million plus?
$525 million, but that's globally. And of that, only like $175 million they're expecting for the United States. The rest of it's global. And of that, I know the $200 million is what they're thinking China's going to do, because this one is getting a release in China.
And I guess the first one was a pretty big hit in China, but they're actually kind of casting some doubt on the Chinese numbers too, because they're like, some of the theaters are shut down. Chinese audiences have moved on from blockbusters. Now it is tracking pretty well. It might do well. I mean, here's the thing. I don't even know how to predict for this one because I know the hype machine is going to be insane.
Oh, they're really going to spend money on this one.
And you see tons and tons and tons of ads for this one. And, there's a lot riding on it. They have a whole franchise they want to build. They've got the theme park. They've got all this stuff. I just really don't know how it's going to do at the end of the day. I mean, I think it's going to make money, but is it going to make the kinds of money that the original made?
Well, they're already in the hole a whole bunch on this, all right? Like, again, for this movie, was it like $1 billion or something they were in the hole
Something
for?
like that, yeah.
But the models and stuff they can reuse again and again and again. So, I mean, it might be front-loaded.
Yeah, because that's what they did with like Back to the Future 2 and 3. They basically filmed 2 and 3 back to back, and they split the production cost between two movies. Because if you take a long break between them, you've got to spend more money to get everything back and build the sets again and do this again and that again. And, they probably saved some money too, because I think they used a lot of the models and stuff from the ride. They were developing this movie at the same time they were doing the ride, so they got the whales and all that crazy stuff in there. The truth is, while optimism is abundant for Avatar: The Way of Water, a film that, like Maverick, is a thundering declaration for the unique, irreplaceable experience of the movie theater, it's impossible to say how far this movie will go. Disney in 20th Century said in its pre-release notes that outside of China, where Avatar 2 is getting a rare release but around a quarter of the nation's theaters are closed due to COVID, the film will surpass Endgame as the widest theatrical footprint for Disney release. That does not mean it will make the most money. It means it's going to be in the most theaters.
Yeah, they're going to put it in as many theaters as they can because they want this one to do really, really, really well so they can be like, look, we can make more. Come to our theme park.
They're saying 12,000 screens in 4,100 theaters in the US and Canada, with 4,600 of those being in 3D. Now, people will go see this movie in 3D, even if you don't go see a movie in 3D very often. That was the draw for the first movie. And to be honest, if you don't see it in 3D, it's not as impressive. I mean, it really isn't. It's like, it's okay.
I didn't really watch it.
It looks like a PS3 cutscene now, compared. I mean, but at the time, it was like, my God, this is, something new.
They said that they're bringing up as not really having serious competition for Christmas holiday either, other than Puss in Boots' Last Wish.
Yeah, and they also bring up Wakanda Forever. They said Wakanda Forever is kind of petering out, and I think this
didn't take long.
No, it's going to cannibalize that. And so the word of mouth is going to be hugely, what drives this movie. And again,
that could be a problem though, because if you're reading some of these reviews,
it's pretty, but it's pretty much the same as the first movie.
Some people said it's great. It depends on who you ask. We'll look at those in a minute, but yeah.
They said that the want to see for this on a Chinese film site has reached 1.43 million. Endgame was 1.84 million. The question is whether the hype will clash against COVID-19 concerns, or if, like Spider-Man in America last year, it will thrive despite the virus's threat.
Oh, come on. Last holiday season, people weren't worried about it.
We're gonna
use COVID every time we have a chance.
We are going to be using COVID to explain away any box office misfire for the next 10 years. We're gonna have a time machine 50 years from now. If there's no COVID in 50 years, we're gonna be like, oh, my movie didn't do very well. My super 3D, holographic movie, whatever they're doing in 50 years, because of COVID 50 years ago. It jumped through time and ruined our opening weekend.
So we don't have the audience scores yet because it's supposed to release Friday, unless it gets an early release on Thursday in certain places. But yeah.
There's an ice storm. We can blame that.
Yeah, it was the ice storm, I swear.
It was the ice storm. And we're not talking about the sci-fi movie. I think they have a sci-fi movie called Ice Storm. People went to go see that instead. No, 82% though. That's where the original was. The score went down on these a little bit, but it's a good movie. It's very intimate. Stock blockbuster filled with impressive action. That's really all you need, I think, anymore. This is a guy from The Verge. He used to write for IO9. The second Avatar movie is a visually stunning but narratively uninspired return to Pandora.
That's a lot of them say. Even if they give it positive, they're like, oh, it's pretty, but,
Wow, this is laying on real thick. I was not only on the edge of my seat, but I'm not sure if I remembered to even draw a breath.
Oh, my gosh.
Simply outstanding.
$100 gets passed into. No, sorry. There's a lot of really good reviews. What's interesting to me is they're all saying how great it is, right?
Yeah.
But the score went down. It's got like 50 some more reviews than I saw yesterday, but the score dropped 2 points. So I'm trying to understand how this is going. What's going on here?
Well, there are a couple negatives creeping in here. This one says it basically doesn't have any personality at all. Let's see here. Silver Screen Riot. If the larger story had felt more substantial than a rehash of the previous conflicts plus wet, then the thinly written characters might not have mattered.
Yeah, that's when I hear the complaints, when there are complaints, It's usually, it was really pretty, but the story sucked, or the characters were one-dimensional. But a lot of them are like, oh, it's amazing, it's the bestest thing ever. And they said here, like, Avatar 2 is a flourish of A++ production values and stunning state-of-the-art visual effects wrapped around a B-movie action melodrama.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how to even gauge this one, and I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's no way in hell it's gonna be a box office bomb.
Oh, no way. No. Disney's gonna make sure no matter
yeah,
what.
I mean, but will it make the money it needs to make? Will it make the money they're expecting it to make? That's the question.
I think it'll make a lot of money.
Yes.
Do I think? But it's not going to beat the first one because there's no way it's going to. Well, it could, I guess. But they ran that thing how many times to get it to that point?
Yeah, and they were talking about how they think that some theaters are actually going to jack up ticket prices.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna.
You know, I mean, look at it. What, 3D premium, freaking $18 to go see.
I wouldn't pay that to see Avatar. I'm sorry. So wait, but if they're going by box office take is how much money it makes, and then tickets suddenly go up just in time for this movie, that seems a little suspicious and like an unfair. Like, oh, this movie made $1 billion, but the ticket prices went up 20%.
Yeah.
For this film, and we've heard Disney before have demanded a higher cut percentage or whatever, so theaters had to raise their ticket prices. I'm like, is that what they're doing to try to get the prices up so they can have maybe less viewers but say it made more money?
Well, that's the thing, because they said what is going to have to happen for this movie to beat the original is people are going to have to go back to it time and time again. They did that with Spider-Man.
Or they can raise ticket prices like 20%, then suddenly, made more money.
Or they could raise the ticket prices, yeah, because they said that it's in a position to become the next multi-billion-dollar film franchise if audiences not only embrace the film as a spectacle, they want to see in theaters multiple times, but also get invested in the story of this family, and they want to, come see more movies with these blue cat people, which I really don't think had any personality whatsoever. In the first movie, I didn't think anybody really had any personality.
I can't wrap my head around it. I mean, you can love it, and that's cool. I just understand that you see something in it that I don't, and that's cool. You can like it. I just don't understand the fascination with this because what I saw of it was boring as hell, and I just have no desire. Even though the theme park's pretty, I'm not gonna say it wasn't pretty. It was pretty.
Oh yeah,
it's always amazing. Been pretty.
It's amazing.
But pretty, there's substance and pretty are two different things.
So they kind of end it with they said that. There are other Disney movies that are going to compete for space in a couple months, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, that one's probably, okay.
But they said it's also possible that repeat viewings will drop off once 3D is no longer an option in all markets. Not that this will be a problem for Disney as they're basically swapping out one number one film for another. So Disney makes money anyway. It doesn't matter if they're making off of Marvel.
Oh, Disney, even if they had to give the illusion of doing well, they'll somehow bump it up to have the illusion of, oh my God, you can't miss this movie because it's doing so well. And you'll go with FOMO. And then suddenly, everybody will go see it again.
See it in theaters because you gotta see it in IMAX in 3D. You gotta pay $20 a ticket or whatever because this is a once in a life. They're already like, it's the movie event of a generation. I'm like, not really. Most people they've moved on. They've forgotten about the original.
It's pretty.
It'll make money. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to make money.
It's the most expensive video game movie. I mean, it's not a video game, but it looks like a video game.
It basically is a video game. It's basically a video game at this point, but there's so much CG.
But maybe it'll be awesome.
Maybe.
Maybe people will love it. I don't know.
They might. I don't know. We gonna wrap it up?
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.